Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video. So, bunch of stuff to cover here. So we'll start with the Fortnite and Avatar collaboration. So a couple days ago they did tease this a little bit more with this interesting kind of like promo image, which you can see here is the kind of iceberg island that, as you can see here, has Appa and Aang in it. This is in game currently. As of this morning, the iceberg island has moved right next to the main island in Fortnite, so you don't have to travel far from the kind of mainland to get to this. It's like right there. So highlighting, of course, that the Avatar stuff is basically right here. But the real kind of highlight of this image is, of course, Katara. So Katara is, of course, I guess, confirmed to be one of the skins coming to the game. Highly likely, basically confirmed to be one of the characters you'll have to buy from the item shop. But as you can see here, it is book 1 Katara. That is definitely her book 1 early outfit. I do hope they have alternate styles. Personally, the style I would want the most for Katara is book 3 Katara. Or maybe her comic design, if that's maybe something that they're doing. Because one of the other things we got here just a few minutes ago basically was this. Known Fortnite kind of leaker data miner posted this, that there will be 3 new skins available in the shop tomorrow. So coming to the shop tomorrow, not just we'll find out about it tomorrow. Fortnite apparently has contacted some Fortnite content creators saying that they'll get these 3 skins tomorrow, I guess, to show off, to promote them. And so what seems to be being added in is 3 outfits, each of which will cost 2,000 V-Bucks. We'll get back to that in a second. There'll be 3 pickaxes, 3 back blings, and 1 emote. So 3 outfits, 3 skins, 3 characters is the idea here. So 2,000 is a lot. I think that is the most expensive skins in Fortnite. I don't really know specifically, but it's right up there for sure. The turtle skins didn't cost that much. So I hope that this is some sort of a crazy bundle type thing where at the very least you're getting the character, a pickaxe, and a back bling for 2,000. If not, 1 or 2 alternate styles for that character plus some items. Because 2,000 is a lot. Like it's effectively it's like just under $20 effectively. Now, the way they're probably going to do this is that there will be probably an Avatar kind of big bundle where I'm assuming the 3 characters will be grouped together into one sort of bundle for, based on the way they do it for other stuff, usually the price of just under 2 of the things. So together this would be 6,000, but they'll probably do it for 4,000 or just under 4,000. So there might be some value to have here, but still you are actually going to need quite a few V-Bucks to get this stuff, of course. And then keeping in mind that Aang is coming to the shop via to the game via an event pass, which is going to cost another 1,000, which is separate to this. It's a bit of an interesting situation. This is speculation, but it is at this point, I think, highly assumed that the characters coming to the game in the shop, these 3 skins, are going to be Katara, Toph, and Zuko, because Aang is part of the event pass, of course. So that will leave, we have an airbender, a waterbender, a earthbender, and a firebender as the kind of characters, because the logic maybe seems to be that because it seems like tomorrow they're going to add in the other bending disciplines, the bending scrolls, so you can do firebending, earthbending, and airbending, because we already have waterbending for Korra. I'm guessing they want the other kind of benders to be in here. So unfortunately, of the main cast, Sokka very much misses out, but there's always the room for maybe a second wave of Avatar stuff down the line, maybe a bit further into things, but for now, they don't want to completely just put like 10 characters in the shop and basically price people out of half of them. So, separating things is probably the best way to go. But I'm eager to see what exactly everything is, because the update is coming tomorrow. We should get data mined information going over what everything is. So we'll know and potentially have access to a certain amount of Avatar skins tomorrow, which will be exciting. I'll do some sort of a video or maybe even a stream, depending on how much stuff we actually get. But for sure, if it is Katara, Toph, Zuko, I hope Katara, at the very least, it's book 1, which we know is in the game, of course, from this image here. So it's going to be at least her book 1 outfit. I hope there's an alternate style for book 3. And because of the way Korra was done, where they did book 1 Korra and then basically book 4 Korra, fully altered, like 2 quite different models. If they are going to be expensive skins, I think they kind of have to do it that way, where like, yeah, Katara's hairstyle is going to be quite different, completely different outfit, but I think that's probably what they have to do here as part of this. So we'll see what happens there, but I definitely want that. Toph is an interesting one where, like, for the most part, like, we don't really have that many like notable alternate outfits for her, where it's her main outfit. There's the one during like the invasion where she's wearing the like earthbender kind of combat hat. Otherwise, it's like, do you do basically like Beifong daughter, Toph Beifong? Do you potentially do that? Or, because I think we know potentially that the model of Aang that's in this is actually potentially his comic design, maybe that's what they're doing here. Maybe it has the show design and then their older comic design. So Toph's comic design is a bit different, and that's certainly a possibility here. Zuko, of course, the expectation here would actually be that his main skin would be book 3 Zuko. That seems to just be across the board in Avatar. You'll note that when they do group shot type things, as you can sort of see here with like Avatar Generations and stuff like that, the way they typically do it is that like it's book 1 Aang, Sokka, and Katara. Toph, of course, is only introduced in book 2, but they always use her kind of early outfit. And then every time they include Zuko in as part of the group, they include him as book 3 Zuko, not like book 1 or 2. But they don't tend to overly adjust the other characters to kind of match the kind of end of series look. So we'll see what exactly happens here, because with Zuko, it'll be like, okay, his end of series look. And do you do book 1 Zuko to go with the original kind of classic look? Or do you maybe do something like continue on, do comic maybe designs for everyone? Fire Lord Zuko from the comics. That would be kind of interesting to do. Because again, with Aang, the expectation probably is maybe book 1 and then book 3 / comic design Aang. That would be the idea there. Pickaxes for Aang, it seems quite obvious. For Sokka, it probably seems quite obvious. Will they do the boomerang or the club or the sword? Like, there's actually a bunch of options for Sokka. Maybe actually he has multiple. Like, there's always the room for like them to do a variety of stuff like that. Katara will be interesting. Her back bling probably is the water kind of skin that she has. Otherwise, her pickaxe will be kind of interesting. Will it just be a water bending type thing or what? And then with Toph, I think there's a few options that they potentially have there. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what is and isn't here for the Avatar event. But just be aware, obviously you needed the battle pass for Korra. You're going to need quite a few V-Bucks for whatever this ends up actually being. So details on this tomorrow. Next piece of news, the exclusive edition, the Barnes & Noble and also Indigo for Canada exclusive edition of The Reckoning of Roku, the 5th Chronicles of the Avatar novel. We now have details on this. So you can see here that the listing has been updated, and it now says, this Barnes & Noble exclusive edition includes a luxe metallic cover, a unique foil case stamp, and an 8-page cutscene with comments from the author. So I'm not sure what the lux means. Is it just short for deluxe metallic cover? That makes sense, I guess. A unique foil case stamp. I'm not really sure what that necessarily is. An 8-page cutscene with comments from the author. When they've done this previously, it typically has been from like the previous book. So I'm actually interested to know if this is a cutscene from Legacy of Yang Chen, or if this is a cutscene from The Reckoning of Roku, and if it's commentary from FCE, or if it's from Randy Rabai. Because it doesn't specifically say, and we do have kind of history with this, that they kind of have tended to do this kind of one book off, basically, in a way. And just to kind of highlight this a little bit further, here is the exclusive edition of Legacy of Yang Chen. So you can see on this version, the main thing is just that you do get the Barnes & Noble kind of like sticker on the front. Otherwise, the exclusive stuff basically is just, like for this one, it was basically just that there was an interview in the back couple of pages of the book. And that was about it. It was kind of a bit more of a disappointing exclusive edition this time out. But what do they mean by like a deluxe metallic cover? Because obviously, these books, if you're actually not familiar with maybe the physical copies, you maybe don't know about this. But of course, the cover is just a dust cover on these books, as you can see here. And obviously, it's not like really metallic or anything like that. So are they just saying that like the cover itself, like the titling here, the logos or something like that are going to be foil or something like that? Because the book underneath, you can see here, does have some kind of foil stuff on it. And this is not just exclusive to the exclusive edition. Like the normal standard version of the book also has the kind of foil on the actual kind of hardcover bit itself. So I'm not really sure what they necessarily mean there. Case stamp, very book exclusive kind of terminology here. But I'm assuming they just mean that, like, yeah, the dust cover effectively of the book will have some sort of metallic effect. And then, I don't know, it'll have the sticker, I guess, because you could see the book itself also still has the sticker. Do they just mean that? Like the sticker is going to be foil as well to match it? Not really sure, but it's certainly, I think the cut scene, because it's actual kind of content, not canon, of course, because it was cut. It's always interesting to know what they do, and so it does, I think, give some value to this versus, like, obviously, I think the last time we got one of these with just the interview, it wasn't really that interesting. So I can see myself probably, yeah, once again going for the exclusive edition on the novel here. So that then brings us into the last piece of news, and that is that CinemaCon 2024 is this week. So obviously it starts today and it goes all the way up until basically Thursday. And what's interesting about this is, of course, this was the event last year where we got some news about the Avatar, the adult gang movie that's coming from Avatar Studios. We actually got something from this. Now, we weren't really meant to get something, but we ended up actually getting our most substantial kind of look at the show through this event. Now, what needs to be noted as we look here, so April 11th, so on Thursday of the con, Paramount will be having their go. So from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., they are going to have Paramount Pictures invites you to an exclusive presentation highlighting its upcoming slate. And note, this is said on basically everything, especially the main ones here from the different studios. The use of cameras or any electronic devices, audio or video, is strictly prohibited. Please completely power down your mobile devices before the start of the presentation. So very much the idea, red tape up here. What comes out of this is not what they show at these events are not really meant to visually come out at all. So that's the situation. And that was what was quite frustrating last year, because this was the main report that we had about this. So Discussing Film, that's what this website is, they did a kind of live blog posting, of course, text updates about what was happening at the Paramount event. And you can see they go through all the different stuff, talking about the known details about it. There was TMNT, of course, so it includes the animated stuff. And you'll note that right at the end here, there was this update about the untitled Avatar The Last Airbender film. Paramount gave us a first look at what the main cast looked like for their upcoming animated Avatar film. It was only a single image reveal with Aang, Katara, Sokka, Zuko, and Toph all present in their adult age in battle poses in front of a snow mountain. The group looks like they're in their late 20s to early 30s, and their costumes are 100% accurate to the hit Nickelodeon series. Zuko's the only one that looks different with an extra long wild ponytail. Now, some of those details are slightly off just because I guess someone had to do a text post in the middle of looking at the image, basically. If you're wondering, this is the image, of course, that leaked out basically by one of the official photographers for the event. It was like that, but you can see it is effectively accurate. You can understand why someone said snow background, because it's quite white overall. Zuko just has long hair, but you can understand again why someone said ponytail. But it was the same image, of course. That's what we're talking about here. So what's going to happen at this year's CinemaCon? Because we expected to maybe go from strength to strength on the movie based on this happening last year. They did coincide this all happening with reposting on official Avatar social media the date on official Instagram. So they posted the October 10th date, but that has been the last time that date has really been properly officially used. It does feel like we're almost just anticipating some sort of a delay, but because they did an early teaser, it's a year on, there would be an expectation that they mention it here. Like, it should be shown to some degree here. And probably, if they don't have any sort of actual video kind of footage basically of this, I'd be a little bit concerned. Like, they really should be getting to the point where they're actually showing this off. But the problem is, the movie still is untitled. There are now question marks about the date just because of how long ago the date was set and how many other Paramount movies have switched around and now have dates in or around that date and all of this stuff. So it's kind of like, okay, what's going on here? And then because this is not really a public event, it's like, are they going to title the movie here? That's a weird way to do that reveal. So unless they're doing some sort of a thing where they're lining up the reveal to basically the industry here with a public announcement where maybe they do reveal what the movie is called for the first time, it's hard to imagine that the same mistake last year that got the image leaked out is actually going to happen here again. So the expectation is that we're probably going to have to rely on, if it is shown, some sort of a text-based description from someone actually attending the event, and we'll have to, of course, wait and see what exactly happens there. We'll know for sure because, of course, we have the timing that, okay, Thursday, it's happening here. There's an hour and a half to go through everything that Paramount have. Avatar should be there. Whether or not they'll actually decide to go ahead with anything, I'm not sure. But it really does feel like it's now or never. If they don't show it here, they don't say anything about it, this event goes by and Avatar doesn't get brought up, I think it's hard to not be worried at all. That would make me very much like, oh no, what's happened here? You showed it last year, what's happened in the meantime? What's going on here? And of course we know that in the meantime, there has been the layoffs at Avatar Studios, the entertainment industry has been a little bit all over the place. We haven't heard anything super concrete necessarily about what exactly this means for Avatar Studios and everything it's working on, but they haven't really said anything in the meantime. We've had stuff like the Avatar Studios website has gone up, but there's no information about new content. But that means that the website needs an update at some point. So there's an expected when will the information get added? And well, here's one way to do it. And then if, okay, they do it behind the scenes, maybe they do show it off, what information is actually going to come out about this? Because we have a date technically for this movie, but will they say that? Will there actually be news coming out about this? Will they say that it's October still, or will they say it's now a different date? So there is the potential for news to come out about this because it will be the first time that the movie's really been talked about basically in a year. Even the Laura Montgomery interview on the Brave and the Elements podcast, she's the director of this movie, they didn't mention the date. So a lot kind of riding on this, because if they don't do anything here, we're probably talking about San Diego Comic-Con and also New York Comic-Con. And they've been also pretty hit and miss there. We would basically need a full-on Avatar Studios panel, effectively, to do the reveal in a big enough way and get people hyped about it. You can't just, add this into a publishing panel. They have to go in with, Avatar Studios panel or part of a big Paramount panel. And are they ready to do that yet? Because the other point that probably is unrelated to CinemaCon, because of course this is about movies, so we would not really be expecting them to talk about series here, is when is the first series going to get announced? Like, that's kind of what we're waiting for. We know there's lots of projects at Avatar Studios, but really it's just update on the movie you've already told us about, and then when are you going to announce that first series? That's the real questions that they have to answer here overall. But yeah, that's been the news here. So let me know what your thoughts are. What are you expecting from Avatar Fortnite? Especially maybe around some of the pricing stuff. What do you want? What would make you grab potentially Katara, Toph, and Zuko? What would make you not grab them as well? Like, what versions do you want them to add into the shop? But yeah, I'll cover that stuff when it happens. Reckoning of Roku Exclusive Edition. What are your thoughts on what it seems to be? And then CinemaCon. The potential for big news, but I'm kind of lower your expectations that, like, it might be an update, but it might not be the update we kind of necessarily like super want. But at this point, anything that's new, that's an update, is something we need really, really badly. What are your thoughts? But that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.